Okay, my beautiful ninth graders, we are at Wangpla Resort today in Canterbury. So this is part 2 of the trigonometry that you will need for physics. Okay, let's get to it. Using trigonometry in Snell's law with a calculator. You will need a scientific calculator for this. Alright, you've seen this already. Right triangle, let's make this 30 degrees, and then let's take the sine of 30 degrees. So sine of this angle is opposite of hypotenuse. Now, get your calculator and look for this key right here, sine. So put that in. Put the sine and put in 30 and enter, and you get 0.5. So this is always true for 30 degrees. So it doesn't matter what size of this triangle is. So the ratio of opposite over hypotenuse is always 0.5. So I can have a big triangle, I can have a small triangle, as long as this is 30. So this over this will be 0.5. Now on top of your sine key, you may see this key, the inverse sine. Okay, this one will give you the angle. This one will give you sine of the angle. So inverse sine, and some older calculators may have arc sine. So they're the same. So arc sine and inverse sine are the same. To get to this function, which may be on top of this function, you may need to hit the yellow key, the shift key. Shift or second function will be the same. Okay, so now let's go backward from 30 degrees here. Okay, so this one I give you the length of all the sides of the triangle, and then you have to find the theta, find the angle. Okay, well, let's do it. Sine of theta is 5 over 10. Find opposite over hypotenuse, right? And then 5 over 10 is 0.5, so you get 0.5. And then this is saying that sine of what angle? What angle can I put it in here that will make this true? Okay, sine of what angle equals to 0.5. So try to find that angle. Well, use that inverse key that I showed you. So take theta and then take inverse sine of 0.5. Take inverse sine of 0.5 and put that in your calculator. So put this in your calculator and you should get 30 degrees. Okay, so put that in your calculator, you get 30 degrees. So that's how to go backward from that one to this one. Okay, so again, the ratio this over this is always 0.5. As long as this is 30 degrees, I can go as big as I want. So this can be 100 and this must be 200. Okay, let's apply it to physics. N1 sine theta 1 equals to N2 sine theta 2. That is Snell's law, which is the law of refraction. Okay, here we have a classic ray diagram of the ray going from one medium, from medium N1 to another medium. Okay, let's say go from air to glass. Okay, that's the easy one. Okay, and let's give that angle 45 degrees. Okay, now you can probably guess that the angle here will be less than 45 degrees because the glass is more dense than air. So the ray will bend toward the normal, not away from the normal. This is away, like this is away. This is toward the normal. Okay, then the angle will be less. Okay, so example, air to glass. So I will give you N1 equals 1, N2 for the glass is 1.5. This is dependent. The N, which is index of refraction, depends on the material. The more dense it is, the higher the value. So glass is 1.5. The lowest is the air and vacuum, which is 1. Okay, diamond will be like 2 point something, very dense. Okay, so for this equation, okay, normally you will know N1, N2, and you will know one of the angles, and then you solve for the other one. Okay, there are 4 variables, you will know 3, and then you just use algebra to solve for the other one. Okay, always like that. Okay, let's plug this in. Okay, so 1, put it in there. 1 sine of 45, because we just indicate that it's 45, and then 1.5 will be right here, and sine of theta 2, we don't know what that is. Okay, now this is simple algebra problem. Sine of 45, okay, bring the 1.5 to the other side, so divide by 1.5. So you have sine of theta 2 equals to this. And then put this in your calculator. Sine of 45 divided by 1.5, and you get 0.4714 equals to sine theta 2. And now I want to find this angle. So to find the angle, you take the inverse. Remember? So the inverse gives you the angle. Okay, the sine will just give you a number, a ratio. Okay, opposite over hypotenuse. So take the inverse of 0.4714. Put that in your calculator, and you get 28.1 degrees. Okay, so this is 28.1 degrees. 28.1 degrees. Okay, so coming in is 45, right? Coming in 45, and then it bends toward the normal 28.1, because this is air, this is glass. If this were reversed from glass to air, then this angle would be greater than this angle. Okay, that's the fish right there. All right, so you guys have a wonderful day, and that is all you need to know about Snell's law and trigonometry.